I have a love-hate relationship with how Hollywood adapts a lot of the superhero costumes, man, because we can get some costumes that are as peak as Superman's costume in 1978, or we can also get some really trash costumes like every single character from Fanforstic and every single X-Men character in the Fox X-Men movies. But it seems that we are finally reaching a point in time that Hollywood is starting to embrace the comics, because for a long time, a very long time that spanned a decade, probably even a decade and a half, probably even 2 decades, considering the Fox X-Men movies were so hell-bent on butchering a lot of the costumes they were adapting. It seems that for a long time Hollywood shied away from comics. They actively tried to diminish anything that was comic accurate, and you can even see this actually happening in the MCU when we look at WandaVision, because in WandaVision they actually portrayed Scarlet Witch's costumes, Quicksilver's costume, and Vision's costume from the comics as a Halloween parody costume. And when I saw that, I was mad because all those 3 costumes were peak. But now that we're talking about the MCU, it seems that the MCU is finally following the trend that the entire comic book movie genre has been following recently, and that trend is adapting comic book accurate costumes. I'm not talking about the costumes where they're shying away or they're adding militarized armor or they're just completely butchering everything. They're making everything dark. They're making everything gloomy. They're making everything militarized. They're making everything quote unquote modern. They really like to strip away the colors and every single cool aspect about the superheroes costume inside the comics, and they're just replacing that by making the superheroes wear basic street clothes. Case in point, Iron Fist in the MCU. But thankfully, man, in 2025, the entire comic book movie genre has finally woken up. They have finally ascended from serving us slop. They're finally trying to right the wrongs that they have been doing for decades, man. And now we're looking at the new comic book genre superhero costumes. I'm talking about Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine, not his main yellow suit, but that brown great looking suit that we saw last year. We're talking about Superman 2025 this year. That suit was really peak in my honest opinion. Maybe not the best Superman suit ever, but that suit is really peak. It's very vibrant and it's very comic book accurate. And now we're going to the MCU when we saw the Fantastic Four First Steps, and we saw Reed, Ben, Sue, and Johnny all have great comic book accurate costumes, and even Galactus's costume was very great, and it was very accurate to the comics, even though some of the colors were muted. But now I have been rambling for 3 to 4 minutes right now because I have to give you guys an explanation and a debriefing as to what I'm talking about, because Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to release next year in 2026, and we have just gotten a sneak peek to Spider-Man's new costume, man. And bro, this costume is sexy, man. I can't even lie to you. This costume is probably, actually scratch that, now probably, this costume is definitively the best Spider-Man costume in live action of all time. I am not lying. This is not recency bias. I am not just following a trend. I am not hopping on a bandwagon. I'm not listening to anyone. I'm not following what anyone is saying. This is just my opinion and my opinion alone, and I do believe that this should be a fact because this entire suit is very comic accurate, man. Even though they did tweak some little things like the Spider-Man logos in the front and the back, and especially the back spider, because in the comics the bat spider is more round, but in this movie the bat spider is more slim and skinny. But bro, apart from that, this suit is better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. This suit is better than Spider-Man's entire suit from the Raimi trilogy. And don't get me wrong, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is 10 out of 10. The Raimi Trilogy Spider-Man suit is 9.8 out of 10. But bro, this suit, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but this suit is 11 out of 10, bro, because the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, right? Everyone loved it. I loved it. Even though that movie was hot ass, that suit was really, really peak. But the thing about that suit is that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit is pretty dark. Like the colors, even though they are popping, is not really as vibrant as the new suit. Sure, you can see the red and the blue, but it's kind of muted. While in this suit, the red is popping, the blue is popping, the colors are popping through the screen, and it really is just resembling the comics. When you add all of these factors in, you add how colorful the suit is, you add how bright the suit looks, you add how accurate the suit looks to the comics, you add that there are little to no visible MCU-ified lines. I think this suit is the best comic accurate Spider-Man live action suit of all time. This is not recency bias, bro. I can't lie. I can't sit on here and sugarcoat. Just look at it. This looks like Spider-Man has been ripped from the comics. This looked like Spider-Man literally just teleported from the comics onto the big screen, man. And that's really, really the best thing Marvel could have done, because we all know Marvel hates comic accuracy. We all know Marvel hates adapting comic accurate costumes, man. But let me stop yapping about the suit real quick. Let me start to yap about Spider-Man Brand New Day. And we are seeing that Hulk is gonna be in this movie, Punisher is going to be in this movie. Punisher, Hulk, and Spider-Man will fight each other. And I do think that Hulk should not lose any fights, because he has been losing a lot of fights in the MCU. He lost to Thanos, even though losing to Thanos is not a bad thing at all. But man, he should have gotten his lick back. And Hulk has just been looking like a fool recently, so I hope he wins these fights. And I'm seeing some people, they don't really like Punisher's inclusion or even the Hulk's inclusion, but they also need to understand that, one, Spider-Man has teamed up with the Hulk numerous times in the comics, man. I'm not even gonna tell you a specific time, because there is just so many examples to go through. And two, the people that really don't like Punisher's inclusion, they really need to shut up, because Punisher literally debuted in a Spider-Man comic. He debuted in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 129. So by proxy, the Punisher is a Spider-Man character, and by proxy, the Punisher is a Spider-Man ally slash enemy. Well, that's just how it is, man. I don't make the rules. And I'd like to point out two more things. One, Punisher's costume in Brand New Day is ass, in my honest opinion. He looks cool, but when is Marvel going to finally embrace Punisher's comic accurate classic costume, man? We need the white gloves, we need the white boots, man. Marvel, lock in and give Punisher his real comic accurate great classic costume. And the other thing is that at the time of me recording, it seems that Mr. Negative is no longer going to be a part of Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's either going to be Scorpion as the main villain, Tarantula as the main villain, or someone else, or hell, they could even make Savage Hulk the main villain. But we're going to have to see what's going to happen in this movie. But we're going to see Punisher. He might get an upgrade from a different movie. That's why they're probably trying to make him fight Spider-Man and the Hulk. And we're also getting word that Scorpion is going to be a part of the movie, but he's not going to be the main villain. And I hope that Scorpion is an actual private investigator. I know that this Scorpion is following how he was in Spider-Man Homecoming, so I hope that after Homecoming, Scorpion becomes a private investigator like how he was in the comics, and not how he was in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't like whenever they make Scorpion a savage and a vicious criminal before he gets manipulated by J. Jonah Jameson, because that just does not make sense, man. And it's pretty boring making Scorpion a vicious criminal before we see what actually made him turn into a vicious criminal. So I hope that they somehow explain that J. Jonah Jameson manipulated Scorpion into becoming a criminal. but we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen. We're finally going to get a grounded Spider-Man. I'm tired of the multiversal Spider-Man stories, man. We need to grow from that. We need to finally leave that in the past. But bro, this suit is comic accurate. This suit is 10 out of 10. This suit is still the best live action Spider-Man suit to date. It has somehow surpassed the Amazing Spider-Man 2, bro. Remember, Raimi trilogy Spider-Man suit 9.8 out of 10. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit 10 out of 10. But this suit actually reaches 11 out of 10, bro. It's not recency bias, and I'm not following a trend, and I'm not following any bandwagons. This is just my opinion and my opinion alone, even though this opinion could be a fact. That's the end of the video though. What do you guys think of this suit? I'm out. Peace.